Hey fellow Dashers, it's Dean again here. So you haven't heard from me for a while. I know I haven't made a video in quite some time, so I apologize for that. I'm very busy, you know. So I wanted to share with you in this video a very exciting email that I got from Doordash a month ago regarding something called the Large Order Program. And it was something that I've heard about before, I just didn't really know anything about it. But out of the blue, out of nowhere, I got this email from DoorDash. And as you can see on the screen, the subject was confirmation. You now have priority access to large orders. And then if you scroll further down, it says large order program. Congrats, Dean, you're all set. Starting on April 26th, you'll be first in line for large, high-value orders. These deliveries represent all large orders on the platform, including some catering deliveries, that cannot be scheduled in advance. Get ready for bigger tips and more money in your pocket. Oh, I'm so ready for bigger tips. You have no idea. So the email goes further to say, how does the large order program work? Step 1, hop on the road. I'm not going to hop, I'm going to drive my car. Once enrolled, you'll be first in line for high-value orders. Step 2, accept the order. For large orders, you'll see a catering bag labeled before you accept. And that's true. That's how you can identify after getting into the program, and I got my very first order, that's when I started seeing that little black icon that says catering bag required. And I'll talk more about the catering bag requirement later on. Step 3, complete the order. Make sure you have an approved catering bag. This will be larger than your average order. And step 4, earn more. You can earn twice as much with larger orders. And so that turned out to be true. I wanted to wait a while before I made this video after I got into the program because I wanted to accumulate some of these larger orders so that I could share them with you. So let me do that right now. So if you take a look at the screen, the very first order that I had was Andolini's Pizzeria, right? So you can see that the tip was $27.95. The total payout was $35.95. Now that's a good order. Right, so that was my very first catering order. The bad thing was that even though I had catering bags, I did not have a large pizza bag. And so I tried to make do with these pizzas. Andolini's is famous for pizzas that are 20-inch large. And if you haven't seen a 20-inch pizza before, just picture something the size of a welcome mat. That's how big these things are. So I made do with the catering bags I had, but later on, once I realized, and that being my first large order, that I was going to need a pretty big pizza catering bag, I bought one, right? And I'll show you guys what that looks like later, and I'll also have a link where you can pick up this bag because it works really well. So anyway, here's another order from Los Cabos. This one was a tip of $23.33. The payout was $25.58. Chili's Grill and Bar, tip $25. The payout was $27.25. Chick-fil-A, $25.16 tip, payout of $27.41. Another Andolini's Pizzeria order, the tip was $27.92 for a total payout of $30.17. And a Charleston's order where the tip was $21.86 and the total payout was $24.11. And if you look at the screen, you'll notice that all of these orders are 30 minutes or less. Right, so the total delivery time from the time I picked it up to the time I dropped it off was only a half an hour. So making a $36 hit on an order that takes a half an hour, that's called making money, right? So much more money than I was making before. Now the thing is, I'm not going to see a lot of these orders. You get them sometimes 1 or 2 times a day, during lunch and during dinner. Usually other times during the day, you're not going to see these kind of larger orders. And that's because, let's say at lunchtime, a lot of these larger orders went to corporate offices, or a store or something like that, where they're buying lunch for the entire crew, or they're buying lunch for everybody in the office. And so that's what a lot of these during the lunchtime represent, these larger orders. Now, a larger order, they say, is anything more than $50. But what I'm going to say is all the orders that I've taken that required a catering bag were usually about $150 to $200 worth of food. So, and again, they talk about having a catering bag, and it's absolutely true. You have to have a catering bag for these orders because there's going to either be a lot of bags or there are going to be several giant big bags that will not fit in a DoorDash heat bag. So, and again, later on I'll show you where you can get these catering bags. So now what exactly is the large order program according to DoorDash? And then how do you qualify? How do you become somebody who's going to get priority for these larger orders? So here's information from the DoorDash website. It says how I qualify, how do I join the program? Follow these steps. Step 1, receiving an invitation email. This program is currently only available by invite. DoorDash will invite Dashers via email who meet the criteria listed above, and I'll explain what that criteria is as soon as I finish this. And dash in areas where additional Dashers are needed to fulfill large orders. Step 2, verify that you have a catering bag. Once you receive the invitation email, you just have to confirm that you have the necessary equipment to complete larger orders. Details on how you can confirm that you have a catering bag are below. And the way you do that is they're going to ask you to send them a picture of your catering bags before they complete accepting you into the large order program. So as long as you have catering bags, you just take a picture of it and you send it to them, and they'll look at it and then realize that you have the necessary equipment for this. And then step 3, confirmation. DoorDash will review your submission and send you a confirmation email if you're eligible. Once you're approved, you're eligible to start receiving larger order assignments immediately. And then they go on to talk about, how do you get a catering bag? They give you little links where you can buy one. DoorDash sells their own. I happen to have 2 large catering bags and now this extra large pizza bag, and this is what those look like. So with those bags and along with I have like 3 DoorDash bags. I have plenty of bags to take very large orders. You want to be able to get yourself a catering bag, at least one. You need at least one catering bag. And so you can either get this, like in the picture that I showed you, I have this large pizza bag. Well, you can use that for regular orders as well. That bag will hold 5 20-inch pizzas, keeps it hot, works great. And again, this is a much bigger bag than you would normally get for a pizza bag. And these other catering bags, I know some of you out there actually looked at my links and you bought them and you've already commented to me how well those bags work. So a catering bag will definitely hold heat better than that piece of shit catering bag or that crappy DoorDash bag that they give you when you first join. That thing's worthless. So even if you're not part of the large order program, you still need to get a catering bag because sometimes the bag's pretty big, it won't fit in there, and these catering bags really hold the heat in very nicely. And they'll also fit, smaller pizzas, like 16-inch pizzas and stuff, keeps them piping hot until you get to the person's house. So the question is, how do you qualify to become a large order program delivery driver? Well, first of all, again, you have to be in a town that requires it. So if you're in a pretty big city, that'll be right off the bat. They're going to need people to deliver these larger orders. If you're in a very small town, there may be no requirement to have anybody there may be no orders that are very large to begin with. Or any that you would require, 1 or 2 catering bags. But for most people, you're going to be in a town that actually has a lot of, especially during lunch, you're going to have a lot of larger orders come in. So what are the qualifications? Requirement number 1, quality eligibility criteria. You must meet the criteria below. You have to have 200 or more lifetime deliveries, 100 deliveries or more in the past month, 4.7 or more average star rating in the past month, and a 95% completion rate in the past month. So I'm imagining that a lot of you out there would qualify for this. 200 lifetime deliveries, that doesn't take very long, a couple of months, and you have to maintain the 100 delivery per month requirement. Even after you're accepted into the program, every single month you have to meet this criteria to stay eligible to pick up larger orders. So they do that, especially with the 100 per month requirement. They don't want you sitting around and declining every single order and only taking larger orders when they come in sporadically. So they do have that requirement that you have to do at least 100 a month to stay qualified, and you have to maintain all these criteria. And then requirement number 2 is equipment. You need to have a standard catering bag, right? You'll need to confirm that you have this equipment to complete these high value orders. So now every time I would go to pick up one of these large orders, and besides, there being a button that says a catering bag required, when you get to the location to do the pickup, they're going to ask you to submit a picture of your catering bag. And that's going to happen every single time. Even if you've already shown them in the beginning that you already have catering bags, they're always going to ask you to take a picture of it. Maybe they thought you left it at home. I have no idea. So every time you pick one up, you got to take a picture of the bag. Now, here's a catch too. In the old days, they have something called Doordash Drive, which is a catering program that was set ahead of time. So these were orders that were assigned to DoorDash. So let's say there was going to be a big catering order and it wasn't going out till tomorrow. People that were part of the Doordash Drive program would have access to those, and they would actually schedule the time that they're going to do the pickup. There was a requirement for them to get to the customer's location to take it out of the bags, possibly do a setup, like a food setup. So now they don't do so much of that. I actually have a friend who's part of Doordash Drive, and he said he's never gotten an order. It's already been a year that he's been part of that program. But he is part of the large order program. And when Eddie, that's my friend Eddie, would constantly get these orders that were like $30, I'm like, dude, how are you getting these orders? I'm not getting any of these. Well, that's why. I found out later on when I told him that I got this invitation. He said, oh yeah, I'm doing that too. That's how he's getting these orders, right? Here's the thing though. If there's a large order out there and there's no large order program people there to get those orders first, whether they're not dashing at the moment or if they're tied up doing other orders, that large order will then go into the wild. So you could actually still get a large order, and you may have done that before. You may have gotten to the location and realized there's 35 items, from Panda Express, and then you have to have a bunch of bags to take the stuff. That's because there wasn't a large order delivery person available. Either they were all booked and they were doing other runs, or they just weren't out there. So you can still get these large orders. You may see one from time to time. So be prepared for that. But again, I think the best thing that you guys can do is get yourself at least one good large catering bag. The two that I have, they're both the same. I'm going to put a link in the description below to that, to those bags, and also to the pizza bag, because they work great. I mean, everything you put in there, it could be a 15, 20-minute drive. You put pizzas in that pizza bag, and you get to the location, you pull it out, it is piping hot, right? So they work really, really well. So again, I'll put a link to that in the description below. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys because it was very exciting for me. I do get one or two every day. So, even if I only make $25, which is on the lower end of some of the ones you've seen where I make $38, two of those is $50. If you get two of those in an hour and a half, you just made $50 in an hour and a half. That's not too bad, especially in my neighborhood. So look out for that. Look for an email for DoorDash. You may get one. You may get invited to the large order program. Very exciting. You're definitely going to make more money. It is well worth it. And that's all I have to say about that. I'm just very excited that I get to make more money. Okay? So I just wanted to share that with you guys quick. So for now, I will see you in the next video, and have a great dash.